Yo, what's up guys, I'm Chxrge, and in this video we're going to discuss my Apex Legends Season 29 Legends tier list. Before we start, I want to mention that I have reached number 1 Apex Predator in one of the earlier seasons and also play competitive Apex often, and recently placed second in the ALGS finals in EU. My Legend ratings are going to be an overall rating including both ranked and competitive Apex. Some Legends are very strong in comp Apex, but not as good in ranked and vice versa, so I'm going to try my best to find the middle ground. First up in the Assault class we have Bangalore. Now Bangalore has been a pretty solid pick pretty much every season since release. Her smoke ability provides excellent cover and can also break enemy lines of sight as well. And if you didn't already know, if a controller player is inside of her smoke, they lose all of their aim assist. As a controller player myself, she is probably one of the biggest counters to controller, just don't tell anyone. Her ultimate can be used both offensively and defensively and can disrupt the enemy team's movement. Her perks are also pretty useful too, including a quick revive, damaging enemy projectiles with her ult, and healing within her smoke. She's probably been the most consistent Legend in Apex. She's good in ranked and also the later rounds in comp. For both of those reasons, I'm going to put her in A tier. Next up we have Revenant. Now Revenant has had a few reworks in the last few years which have definitely made him play differently. My issue with Revenant is that he's used so much on console by people cheating. I know that has nothing to do with his tier list rating, but it's made me develop PTSD when I see a Revenant using a Havoc rifle. I think he's a good Legend choice for a hyper aggressive player, and his perks complement that by lowering his cooldown times through his abilities. He has an interesting passive that allows him to climb for a long time. This means he can take weird angles to get entry damage. Overall, he's quite a two-dimensional Legend, so I'm going to put him into C tier. Next we have Fuse. Now he has had some reworks recently which have made him a much more interesting Legend. His ultimate ability no longer makes a ring of fire and now launches explosives which can damage enemies through walls. His tactical ability also provides him with offense and movement capabilities. He's a great choice for an aggressive player who enjoys having movement too. If he is given a power booster, he is one of the most oppressive Legends in the game. His offensive abilities mixed with movement make him one of the most underrated Legends in Apex. I think in the right hands he is insane. I think he's a very underrated A tier Legend. Next we have Mad Maggie. If you follow competitive Apex closely, you'll have heard about the ALGS damage records being broken recently. The players who are breaking these records use Maggie to damage farm with her drills. She does an insane amount of damage with them. She's recently been nerfed with a slower cooldown for her drill, but with a power booster that nerf is pretty much undone anyways. Her Wrecking Ball ability destroys Gibby Domes and it's an amazing counter in comp Apex. Even with the recent nerf, I'm still going to place her in A tier. She's a very solid pick and is one of the most oppressive characters in the game. Last in the Assault class we have Ballistic. Now Ballistic has recently had a buff which has increased his tactical damage ability from 15 to 50 and the debuff duration increased from 12 to 15. His tactical charges have also increased from 1 to 2. I personally don't like Ballistic, his abilities and gameplay. In my opinion, they just aren't fun. I don't enjoy his tactical ability putting my gun in the microwave for 15 seconds without being able to fire back. That said, I'm trying to be unbiased with this tier list. He's currently a very strong Legend and I don't think people realise just how powerful he is. I'm going to put him in B tier. Well, that's the Assault class done. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Every sub means a cheater is permanently banned. Starting off in the Skirmisher class we have Pathfinder. Now Pathfinder is notorious for having a big hitbox and being named the Fridge. He takes a lot of damage easily, but Pathfinder excels at taking weird angles and using his grapples to create pressure points to exploit the enemy team. His perks allow him to either choose the recon or controller perks, which means he can either scan the survey beacon or zone beacon. This is super useful in competitive Apex. Another buff he has been given recently is a base cooldown of 20 seconds for his grapple, which is huge. I've been playing Pathfinder recently, and if you manage to find a power booster, it feels like you never run out of grapples. I think he's a Legend with a very high skill ceiling. If you know how to play him well, he is amazing. Currently, I think he's a B tier Legend. I still think his hitbox lets him down in my opinion, but he's still great. Next up we have Wraith. Now Wraith has been a classic throughout all of Apex. There was a brief period where she wasn't as good as she used to be, but with the new perk update she definitely feels more useful again. The new phase portal is a great addition to her kit and has saved my team on plenty of occasions, and helped enemy teams get away when we're winning the fight. It's still quite scary to fight a good Wraith. She has the ability to rotate her team from certain death, whilst also being able to take risks and escape with her tactical ability. Not to mention she has one of the smallest hitboxes in the game. Currently I think she's an A tier Legend. Next we have Octane. I feel like we've all experienced our random teammates playing Octane, running to the enemy team and dying instantly. It's frustrating to say the least. I think he's a decent Legend, but nowadays in this movement meta, there's Legends who are more useful than him. He doesn't have the ability to scan any beacons and has no offense or defense in his kit. Currently I'd place him in C tier. Next up we have Horizon. Horizon used to be one of the stronger Legends in Apex. Apex, but she's had a few nerfs in the last few years, which means she isn't as common in high level play. Her gravity lift isn't as good as it used to be, but it's still quite useful for repositioning to higher ground. Her ultimate is still quite useful during fights when paired with grenades or coordinated team fire, but she's not quite as oppressive as she once was. Her mobility and playmaking potential keep her somewhat relevant, but I currently think Horizon is a C tier legend. Next up we have Ashe. Now Ashe has received several nerfs and improvements over time, and now feels much more impactful than she did in her first few seasons. Her phase breach allows for aggressive pushes and quick rotations, whilst her upgraded snare can be incredibly annoying for enemies trying to escape. She excels at turning small advantages into full team wipes and is strong with a coordinated squad. Nowadays she lacks the team utility of some of the top tier legends, and for that reason I'm going to place her in C tier. Next up we have Alter. Now Alter brings one of the most unique kits Apex has ever seen, allowing teams to reposition through walls and escape dangerous situations that would normally result in a squad wipe. Her abilities create opportunities that no other legend can replicate, making it difficult to predict and even harder to counter when used properly. She does require good communication and game sense to get the most value from the kit, but in the right hand she is incredibly effective. Even with the recent nerfs, I think she is still a solid pick in both ranked and comp Apex. Currently, I think Alter is an S tier legend. Last in the skirmisher class we have Axel. Axel is a new legend introduced in season 29. I'll keep this brief. She's busted. She has some of the best movement in the game, with an ultimate ability that can easily win fights for you. She's a pain to play against and is very hard to track consistently when she uses her tactical ability. She recently received a small nerf, but I think she hasn't changed much honestly. She has one of the highest pick rates in ranked and is consistently used in competitive Apex as well. For me, she is an S tier legend. Next up we have Valkyrie. Now Valk offers some of the best rotational utility in the game. Her jetpack has been buffed a little bit recently, and her ultimate remains the best ability for escaping bad positions or rotating into zone. She's super useful in competitive Apex and ranked Apex. I've managed to escape certain death with her ultimate ability more times than I can count. In my opinion, she is an A tier legend. Next up we have Seer. Now Seer has had several buffs and nerfs in the history of Apex, going from one of the strongest legends ever released to one of the least popular after multiple nerfs, and then recently becoming one of the strongest legends again. His tactical ability is very oppressive. It provides positional and health information for your entire team to see, and also heavily slows the enemy. His ultimate is incredible too, providing light scans in a spherical radius for your team. He's definitely one of the best legends after the recent buffs given to him, and is one of the most oppressive legends in the game currently. He is an S tier legend for me. Next up we have Vantage. Vantage excels at long range engagements, making her a great choice for players who enjoy sniping and playing from range. Her tactical ability, Echo, gives her surprising mobility when repositioning. Her sniper ultimate can quickly win fights by applying pressure and forcing enemies to play defensively. Her recent buffs have made her a much stronger pick. I've been killed by Vantages quite often early game by her sniper ability. However, I think her abilities and utility aren't as good endgame if there are a lot of teams alive. Not to mention she has quite a large hitbox and isn't a very defensive character. In comp Apex, she's rarely played at all. Overall, for me, she is a C tier legend. Next up we have Bloodhound. Now Bloodhound is currently one of the lowest picked legends in Apex. He has a straightforward kit, but his abilities just aren't as useful as they once were. I'm unsure if we will see a Bloodhound buff for a while. Personally, I think he's pretty much unusable and gapped by every other legend in the game. Currently, he's an E tier legend for me. Sad. Next up we have Crypto. Now Crypto has one of the highest skill ceilings in Apex, offering incredible information and utility when played correctly. His drone can safely gather information, recover banners, and set up EMP pushes that can win fights. The downside is that Crypto players can sometimes leave their team effectively fighting a 2v3 whilst operating the drone. In a coordinated team, he's extremely powerful, but in solo queue or ranked, he can feel inconsistent. In competitive Apex, he is one of the strongest picks currently, and is usually banned game 1. In ranked, he is not as common though. Overall, I think Crypto is A tier. If ranked lobbies were more competitive, I think we would see him picked a lot more. Next up we have Sparrow. Now Sparrow is an interesting pick for me. He provides great information with his tracking darts and is able to scan survey beacons from crazy distances. This is super useful in ranked and competitive Apex. If you know where the enemy teams are, it's much easier to make a plan. My team actually used Sparrow in LGS for his long distance survey beacon scans, and we gained a lot of points because of this. Without him, I'm not sure we would have made it to the LGS finals. His ultimate ability recently received a nerf which gives movement slows to your teammates. This definitely made him not as effective. Overall, Sparrow offers a healthy balance between scouting and combat effectiveness. I think he's still a bit underrated, but because of his versatility, I think he sits in B tier. Next up we have Gibraltar. Now Gibby has received some interesting buffs in the last few months. His new electrified dome is very cool, and his movement speed buff is insane. It feels impossible impossible to keep up with a Gibby who is running, which is something I thought I'd never say. In comp Apex, he is still incredibly valuable in the right situations. His Dome Shield is still one of the strongest defensive abilities in the game, allowing teams to reset, revive, and survive dangerous engagements, although you rarely see him picked until Crypto and Mad Maggie are banned, as they are both hard counters to his Dome. His larger hitbox can make him difficult to play at times, but his defensive utility is unmatched when your team needs breathing room. When Maggie and Crypto are banned in comp, I think he is S tier, but overall, including ranked, I will rate him A tier. Next up we have Lifeline. Lifeline has been more popular thanks to recent updates and remains one of the better support legends in the game. Her ability to revive teammates whilst continuing to fight creates incredible pressure during team fights, and her healing utility helps teams recover and reset much faster than normal. I think she's a great beginner legend to play for people just starting to play Apex. She's easy to get value from and fits into almost every squad composition. Currently, I think Lifeline is B tier. Next up we have Mirage. Now Mirage is one of the most fun legends in Apex and can be surprisingly effective in the right hands. A skilled Mirage player can completely confuse the enemies and create openings that shouldn't exist. His ability to be invisible whilst reviving is very useful too. Every time I get into a 1v1 with Mirage, I instantly regret my decision and usually end up losing it. Whilst he can absolutely pop off in ranked and public matches, he's less reliable in competitive environments and rarely ever picked. Currently, I think Mirage is C tier. Next we have Loba. Now Loba offers some of the best quality of life utility in Apex through her black market ability, allowing teams to consistently stay stocked on ammo, shields and attachments. Her support perk makes her an interesting character as she can revive teammates and reset faster with the passive health heal on res. Her bracelet also gives decent mobility for escaping danger or taking better positions. She may not dominate fights directly like other legends, but she's still very useful. She's virtually unplayed in comp Apex, but I still think she's pretty good. Currently, I think she is C tier. Next up we have Newcastle. Now Newcastle is one of the strongest defensive support legends in Apex when played correctly. His ability to drag and revive teammates to safety can completely turn losing fights into winning ones. Combine this with his mobile shield and defensive ultimate and he provides an incredible amount of protection for his team. He requires good positioning and game awareness and is useful in comp Apex too. Having a straight 3v3 with a Newcastle on the team increases your chances of winning massively. Currently I think he is an A tier legend. Next up we have Conduit. Conduit was recently one of the strongest support legends thanks to her ability to provide shields during fights. Her tactical was insane. She could keep your teammates healthy mid-fight. Even after the nerfs and adjustments, she is still somewhat useful, but maybe not as good as she once was. I won't lie, I haven't played her enough after this new update, but after reading the patch notes, I think she's around C tier for me. Okay, now we're onto the controller characters. Next up we have Caustic. Caustic is one of my favourite legends and is one of the best controller characters to control space and punish aggressive teams. His gas traps can make buildings incredibly difficult to push and force enemies into uncomfortable positions. He's definitely not as dominant as he used to be during some earlier metas, but he still excels in endgame scenarios where space becomes limited. In comp Apex, he still has a very high pick rate. Currently, I think Caustic is A tier. Next up we have Wattson. Wattson is one of the strongest defensive legends when it comes to holding positions and controlling buildings. Her fences can shut down pushes and slow enemies down mid-fight. Her ultimate is probably one of the best in the game, providing value by blocking incoming grenades, abilities and explosives, whilst restoring shields over time. She isn't the flashiest legend in the game, but her consistency for me keeps her firmly in B tier. Next up we have Rampart. Rampart steadily improved over the years, but with the breach charge being added to the Hemlock, it has somewhat nerfed her walls. She's still an interesting pick and can definitely be an awkward legend to fight. There's nothing more annoying than a Rampart team hiding behind the walls with charge rifles and other snipers. Sheila can still absolutely destroy teams when given the opportunity. Her potential is incredibly high, but the current meta with Crypto, Maggie and movement legends makes her less effective in my opinion. Currently I think she's in D tier. Okay, we're on to the last legend, Catalyst. Catalyst isn't as strong as she used to be, but still provides value in locking down buildings with her passive and tactical abilities. Her Dark Veil ultimate ability is still good for small rotations and resets, and can also create opportunities during chaotic fights. Even after several balance changes, she continues to provide value in both ranked and competitive play. Overall, her combination of defense and flexibility makes her a C tier legend. She's still somewhat useful in comp Apex in the later games, but never used in high tier rank play at all really. Okay, that's my Apex Legends character tier list. If you agree or disagree with any of my opinions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as it helps me out a lot. If you have any requests for future videos, just let me know in the comments.